Welcome back, everyone, to Halloween Haunts 365. I'm Jared.
And I'm Terry.
Parmesan Chicken back in the building. I didn't fire her yet for liking Twilight. Hope you liked our midweek video, even though that was 2 weeks ago. Not completely sure when this will air. We got some stuff in the hopper.
A lot.
But before we do that, we need to. Tours is coming to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the 2025 haunt season. This tour, we have 5 haunts, 3 days, at one low price that you will not find anywhere. We will be visiting Castle Blood, Portals of Fear, On the Hills Estate Street Park, Fright Farm, and Crawford School of Terror. Make sure you get your tickets now at terrortours.rip. You will not be sorry. Let's go have some fun.
You were so excited.
I know. I know.
You didn't even do
I didn't
an
want to
intro.
forget it. I forgot that like twice, and Troy's gonna kill me. Sorry, Troy, but I did it this time in the beginning.
You forgot to talk. You just hit the button.
But what do we got going on?
We are doing an interview.
We're doing an interview. You guys click the thumbnail. You know what we're doing, and we have a 30-second spot, and they're also a stop on the Terror Tours. We're gonna talk to the creator of this once we get this moving. All right.
That trailer was cool.
It is a cool trailer. Without further ado, we're going to bring in Charles from Portals of Fear. How are you tonight, sir?
Fantastic. How are the two of you?
Good. Just hanging out. I really like the spot.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun making that.
It looked a lot of fun.
We filmed for many hours of footage to get 30 seconds. But in addition to that, we have quite a few 15-second spots, social media spots that will trickle out over the course of the next year.
Huge importance is that social media 30-second vertical.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to jump right in and ask you, when did the Halloween bug bite you?
Oh, it's the same story that everyone tells you, isn't it? So when I was in 5th grade or when I was in 6th grade, but it's so true. It's 6th grade. My sister took me to a JC haunt, and I fell in love with that and ran home and said to my parents, I said, I want to do my own. Can I use your yard? And they were all in. My father was a big Devil's Night guy. And so he was all in on the yard hunt, and I did that in 6th and 7th grade, and he would build me coffins and tombstones out of plywood, and he would even get in the coffin on Halloween night and act for me, and my mother would do the porch light, turn it on and off, and flash it. When I got to high school, one of the local haunts was a fire department haunt, a volunteer fire department haunt, and they allowed for the different volunteer groups through the school to come in and act. So a group of friends of mine and myself, we did that, and we stuck there for all 4 years of high school, and we helped grow it bigger and bigger, and really enjoyed that. And then after that, college and the real world hit, and then it kind of came back when I had my own family in my own house. I said, I'm going to do a yard hunt again. And actually, it was my wife's idea. She said, we should have a Halloween party. Mm-hmm. And I said, are you sure? Be careful what you're asking for. And she said, no, I want to be able to have, serve hors d'oeuvres and have neat little custom drinks that I can carry around, and everybody can be in costume. In 2 years, I had a full 3,000 square foot walkthrough at the house. And she didn't quite sign up for that. And that's where it all came from, and that's where it kind of leapt into what we're doing now, which is Portals of Fear. This is actually the first year, 2025, that we're going into as a pro haunt. We spent from 2018 until last year as a charity haunt. So that's how we got started.
Very cool.
Wow.
So that gets rid of that first question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And that second question. That's fine.
I can go into more detail.
No, that's
And the third question, kinda.
Well, great. It's not talking to you. Have a great night.
So, how do you come up with the themes and storylines for each portal or section of the haunt?
Well, see, now I can be a little bit longer winded. So I'm gonna step it back because the themes all came before the name of the haunt, and we were only one walkthrough. We don't have multiple haunts. It's a singular walkthrough, and I needed a way to justify a storyline when you would go from one scene to another that didn't jive, that weren't part of the same, didn't make sense together. So you go from a witches scene to a zombie scene to a clown scene or something like that without having separate haunts. So I did that by working backward and then getting the name Portals of Fear. So each portal is its own theme. And each year we can change out a full theme and just release a new portal by doing so. Portals range in size. Some are about 3,000 to 4,000 square feet. The bigger one is about 6,000 square feet. So that's how the Portals of Fear name came up. How do I come up with the themes? I don't sleep. The mind's always going. I try not to. I mean, I have the same tropes, some of them that you find in a lot of haunts. I have a cemetery. Most haunts have a cemetery, but I try to find some themes that are different, that you won't find anywhere else, or a take on a theme. My take on a theme might be different than other haunts. I think my whole haunt is I try to be different than everyone, at least around me in Pittsburgh. My theory on haunting, my methodology is different in my approach to doing all of it. You hear, especially nowadays, a lot of the haunts are story-driven. Immersive is a big word in the last half decade. I'm a former theater, and I dream up my themes from a theater perspective. I write storyline. One of my favorite parts of haunting is actually writing story. So not only does the entire haunt have a backstory, but each portal has a full backstory, and each title character in each portal has a full backstory. So we got stories for days. They go on and on. And then I design and build around that, and I design and build for realism, and then I light it as if it were a theater. I tell my wife all the time. I said, we don't own a haunted house, a haunted attraction. We own a theater, and we're performing a haunt. So that's the way I approach all of those things. And I light it like a theater as well. I've had quite a few people go through and say, "Wow, that's one of the brightest haunts I've ever been through." But I like for realism as well. And I know you guys are coming out on the territories, and I can't wait to show it to you and everybody else that's coming.
Yeah, you got a lot of haunt fans on that bus.
Yeah. This is going to be fun.
Did we lose
Yes.
him? Nope, there he is.
I'm sorry.
You already went through that one.
Yeah.
See, I had all your questions already. I'm sorry.
Do you build all your sets in-house, or do you work with some of these crazy outside vendors that we have?
everything is in house. Everything is designed, built. The build is in house. The electrical portion is in house. The lighting, the sound, the music, the atmosphere, the scents, every costume is all made in house. And in fact, I'm in the sewing room right now. Because I don't have an office, but my wife does, and we've got mannequins all the way down the wall with so everything is done. Everything's done in house. So, and it takes a long time that way. My crew is very small.
I was just going to ask you that.
My crew is very small. I'll lead the build. I'll do the initial build with two other gentlemen that have been with me since they were 13 years old. So we've been together a long time. So it's essentially the three of us that go through and do the build, and then it's my wife Stephanie and one protege of hers that go through and do all of the effect painting and distressing and making it look real, the scene setting, and then I go in behind them and I'll finish the lighting and sound. When I say finish, I'll set up temporary lighting to the best of what I think I want it. So when she does the distressing, she's doing it in the light that will be for the show. She's doing it in the show light. Then I'll come back in and set all the lights and hide all the cords and final paint on the floors and move to the next room.
Very cool. That's a lot of work. Who handles the costumes?
During show, we'll have a costume manager. Pre-show, my wife Stephanie sews makes every costume. I love the fact that there are companies out there that make really fantastic high-end costumes. And at some point I may get into one here or there. My mantra is I want something that nobody else has, or nobody else has the ability to have.
Right.
So every costume is created here in house by Stephanie and Stephanie alone. And the only leads that I'll give her are the original story. This is that character. This is their backstory. This is the color palette that I would like to see, but everything she's done has been fantastic.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
I always wonder about that
Yeah.
stuff, like making your own costumes and shit. We know the answer to this. How long does it take you to prepare for a season from, well, not tear down to opening night?
Yeah, luckily I don't have to tear down, except for this past year. I tore everything down. We went to the bare walls, and I can tell that story here in a moment. But I essentially build year round. I'll probably take off from Thanksgiving to New Year's, and then I'll start up again right after the first of the year. And then it's a lighter schedule in the beginning, 3 days a week. And once May 1st hits, it's 5 days. And then July 1st, and it's 7 days. All the way through November, 7 days. Not that it takes that long. I could probably do it quicker and have a product that I'd be happy with. But there's always more tinkering, always something I can do more. So,
yep.
And it's cathartic. I'll after a bad day at work, I head up to the haunt and I'll work until 1 in the morning. I'm just alone with the music playing and cigar in my mouth, and I just it's relaxing. The ability to release whatever creative juices I have is quite relaxing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's all year, people. All you flannel
year.
wearing pumpkin patch people, it's all year. What?
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, you
What
can do
goes-
something today.
What goes into the casting and training your actors?
So that's a great question because I have two different answers. From 2018 until 2023 season, we weren't open in 2024. We weren't open in 24. So with 2018 to 2023, we were 100% all volunteer charity haunt. So we just took what we got,
Right.
and we did our best we could with training, and they were all, I can't say all under 18, but the majority of them were under 18 years old, which can be difficult for training or herding cats. So there's no difference in that sense. But they really, especially the last 2 years, 22 and 23, really came together, that volunteer group, and really impressed us. And but it's a lot of work to make sure that it's all about buy-in. Really, it's all about buy-in. Here's the story. These are our title characters that have backstories already, but these are all the ancillary characters you can make your own. And if they buy into what we're wanting to do, then it makes our jobs and theirs easier. Right. This is the first year coming into 25 where we're non-volunteer hunt. So we're full paid staff. We're going from probably 50 total volunteers to 125 paid staff. And we actually have our first set of auditions. The ad goes out for the now hiring ad goes out here. Probably the week that this will air, and it's a little different because now I'm dealing with I will be dealing with more experienced people, I hope, and that comes with some ego, and I have to manage that. It comes with a different set of expectations from both parties. And as long as I'm going into it eyes wide open and able to meet them at a certain level, I think it'll go really well. More training. It's actually more training to get people of that level to buy into what we're doing. And when I say training, yes, we do haunt actor training, but most of our training is safety. It's safety for the actor or the employee. It's guest safety, and we will fire drill once a week. There are meeting zones, and we actually fire drill with the fire department there, and it's a lot. There's a lot to do, and just the manpower it takes to manage that portion is extensive.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're a new pro haunt. Do you have any standout characters that you think will become fan favorites?
So I'm trying. So I do not have any other people's IP. Every character in the hunt is out of my own head. Mm-hmm. And of course their own backstories. I have one, two, three, four. I have five. I have five characters that I would like to build as icon characters. The characters that would stay for years to come, no matter what portal is built or torn down.
Right.
Our lead character, our lead icon character, naturally will always be there. The one who created the portals is the one you saw, the demon character. His name is Rulos. He's at the end of our promo video, but I blur him because I don't want to give away too much.
Good.
So yeah, you get to meet him in the haunt, and he's quite intimidating. He's already tall to begin with, well over 6'3" or 4, and then we put him on stilts, and then he's on a stage.
Wow!
So, you get this just massive demon that towers over you, and he'll lean up and over the guests, and he fills a room. I'll say that.
I like it.
Wow.
How much freedom do you give your actors to improvise or develop their own personas?
I think a lot. That'll be argued by some of the actors, I'm sure. The icon characters have to they have to stick to the story, or it doesn't work.
Right.
But again, the 5 icons and maybe 5 more sub tier characters. But the other 55 spots that are there, I encourage them to make it their own. Make the portal or the room that they're in, their own. Make it work for them. If they want a backstory, have a backstory. So I do encourage it.
Very cool. Are there any effects or scenes that you're especially proud of from a technical standpoint?
Oh, I have not heard you ask that question before.
I gotta throw curveballs.
That was a good one. It's a scene that I'm especially proud of. I'm actor driven. My animatronics, my pneumatics, and my animatronics are saved for scenery. I'll say that, right? I don't have on purpose. I don't have a big centerpiece creature animatronic or anything like that. I think what I'm most proud of are the way specifically. I have maybe 3 specific scares that are set up that I'm really proud of. I'll let you know it's on the second. One of them is on the 2nd floor. I'm a 3-floor haunt, 3 stories. So.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So the top floor, the 2nd floor, there's a specific scare that we built that I'm pretty excited about.
All right.
I'll just call it the Jeremy scare. So.
The Jeremy scare. Yeah, I look forward to the Jeremy scare.
That's right.
That's 3 floors.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
3 floors. I worry because I've worked on this scare in other areas. It's not hasn't been quite as big as it is this year, or that it's going to be. And I've been told by my other the other workers that it'll end up stopping more people and turning them the other way. So we'll have to get a pusher in there to make sure we push people towards it. And I know there's don't scare backward and all the theories that haunt trainers and actors have, but the scare wouldn't work if it wasn't in front of you. So
gotcha. Sometimes it's okay to stop the group.
Yeah.
Honestly, it makes some haunts longer.
Sure, and being a theatrical haunt, we have scenes, again, theater style, where we stop and when I call us interactive, it's interactive because not just because you're surrounded by everything, but because you're handing weapons to characters, or you're getting some blood on you, and you're being stopped and asked to take part in certain scenes. So that my idea of immersion is making you a part of it physically, not just your surroundings.
Yeah, I mean, why should they get off easy? Make the customers do some work.
That's right.
For real.
That sounds so much fun.
I know. I'm getting excited. You excited?
Yes.
Good. So what do you want guests to feel or experience when they walk through Portals of Fear?
Well, naturally, fear. It's in the name. And we build the portals and we design them based on different human fears. But here's what's interesting. There's not a single clown in my haunt.
Wow.
There's not a single chainsaw in my haunt.
Yes.
You
big baby.
And I do that because why? Because they work. Those work very well. But I try to build everything on more of a psychological fear. I have areas that are intense, that don't have an actor in them, because the scenery itself, the sights, the sounds, the smells, those things, I need to put you in a certain psychological state before I introduce you to the scares. So there's time in between portals where we'll change things over as you walk through it, and you do know when you go through a portal, so it's not like,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, you'll know when you go through a
Right.
portal. So I really push the psychological on people, that they really feel that they're there. I like the haunt that way. I use natural lighting. If there's a lamp in the room, I use the lamp for light. It's amazing. And I try to use natural colors. So if you're walking through a real cemetery, tombstones aren't green and red and blue. So I don't like them green and red and blue. My cemetery is lit simply by moonlight. Period. You might, a lot of candlelight in the haunt. I'll use, spots to highlight things, but I'll use more natural colors of oranges, whites, things like yellows, the occasional red here or there. But I try to build more of a psychological place for everybody to go to. There's a saying in the attraction industry that you go into a haunt with the suspension of disbelief, and I set out to have everybody just disbelieve a little bit less. So that's my goal.
Cool. So how do you balance fear, fun, and safety in the haunt?
Safety's first. Safety's built into every corner of the haunt, even non-customer areas. Everything is cameraed, recorded, audio and video, and there is not a blind spot in the haunt anywhere. It's covered corner to corner with cameras. There are people that monitor cameras all the time and recording, and then even outside, literally the entire property is cameraed. So, and having recorded and saved for years to come. We have zone leaders that manage 4 zones that manage every actor in those zones. I have a full security staff that we wand everybody going in. My security staff wear body cams. They are first responders basically. So safety's first. The story, I hope, builds the fear. So I manage the fear through story and the immersion. And the fun part is the byproduct of the fear and immersion. I feel like people go to a haunt to be scared first, entertained second. Some people consider being scared entertainment. There's a large group of us that consider being scared entertainment. So the fun part comes as a byproduct of a good haunt and a safe haunt.
I like it. All right. So, do you design for hardcore haunt fans, first timers, or a mix of both?
Why am I a first?
You go through like every time it's your first damn time.
I'm just a chicken. I get scared easy.
I've
I've gotten better.
Every time is the first time, right there.
Right.
I design for the hardcore haunt fan. In the build out stage, portions of it get toned back to allow the general public to have an enjoyable time and want to return. But I have to have a starting point, and I think if I start with trying to please the most difficult audience, it's easier to roll back if I need to than it is the other way.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite scene or portal that you created?
They're all my babies, right?
Yep, you got to pick your favorite baby.
Yeah, I got to pick my favorite baby. Our ending scene, I'm going to start with saying our ending scene. And again, and we weren't able to open in 2024. I didn't think we were ever going to be able to open ever. But, the things came together and we're able to do this. But we tore everything out. So our ending scene is really where we're sinking so much time and effort into this year, because that's the big scene. So that I hope that's going to be everyone's favorite. My favorite is it's a portal that we call the Coven, and it's almost like a second haunt. It's the entire upstairs of our building, and it's manor-esque. So it's an entire 2,500 square foot house, where you're in the living room and dining room and library, and then behind the walls, and the house is owned by a coven of witches. And you get to see one of them in that promo video you played earlier. I love their storyline, because we're able to take our witches, and it's a small coven. I think there's only 3 in there, but we're able to take a witch storyline and a baby doll storyline, a scare, and then merge them together into one big theme. And I think we pulled off really well. And we had a smaller version of it when we were a charity haunt, and it was the first scene you went through, and more people went out the chicken door after that, or in the middle of that scene, than any other scene. We would get calls on the radio. Where's the next group? Where's the next? Well, they left. So when we came into this year, we knew we had to take that smaller scene and really increase its awareness in the haunt. So it took the entire top floor.
An entire top floor of witches and baby dolls.
I know, 2 of my favorite things. Could you imagine?
I know.
You're going to turn around and I'm going to be gone, because you're going
to go back there on the Saturday and say, screw territories.
Play with the dolls.
So many dolls.
Oh, I love them.
You got dolls stored everywhere.
That's a wonderful thing to have.
So what's been your biggest challenge this off season?
There's a lot of challenges. Rebuilding it all. So we've talked over this last half hour or so about us not being open last year, and now we're open this year. We were a charity haunt. We were a home haunt. My wife and I were a home haunt, and the local church youth group called up in 2018 and said, would you help us build a haunt for our youth group to earn money to go rebuild houses in Kentucky? And I said, yeah, sure, I'll come down and help you out. So it is a block away from my house, and an old school that the church had shut down. And they did it for donations only. And I loved it because I didn't have to worry about weather with my home haunt. So when the next year, and they did, the kids did a great job with no budget at all. So when the opportunity came for a second year, I offered my services, and I offered to bring most of my items in and set it up for them. So we took a couple of the rooms, and we set it up, and they did really well again. And it started to become more and more of a community event. It was just called, the Haunted School at that point. The third year, I asked them to just let me take over the creative portion of it all, and just let the kids act in it, and they agreed to that, and we did that the last 3 years. And in July of 2024, the charity called me, the youth group called and said, we're no longer going to have the Haunted School. We're going to sell the building and sell the property. So first thing I did was, I got to move it somewhere, so I got to take it down regardless. So we go in and we start tearing everything out. And at the same time, we're looking for a new property for us to see if we can continue. Because the property that the church was selling was a large, almost 8-acre parcel with a church building and a convent and the school and parking lots. And it was a large parcel. And we ended up finding another local business and partnering with them and bought the property. So
wow.
Here I've torn everything out. And they said, no, you can stay. So we started rebuilding everything, but it was all for the better, because when it was a charity haunt, most of the things that were in there were from my home haunt, and whatever collection that the youth group was able to get of spirit props and Walmart props, and so that's all gone. I had to get rid of it anyway. So we tore everything down and started rebuilding again with the mindset now of we're doing this as a pro hunt, and we're going to build it properly. So everything's fire treated and everything's built with all the plastic that used to be in there is gone. There's no plastic in there. It's real walls, and we're even bringing in not just set walls but actual building products. So if it's there's areas of brick that are actual brick. There's areas of tile that are actual tile. So
wow.
Mm.
I don't think I answered your question. Did I answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have a church on your property?
We have a church on our property.
Oh, God, I've wanted a haunted church forever since I was a kid. I constantly look for churches for sale because I want to haunt a church so bad.
This particular church, the entire floor is slanted. And I guess much like Laurel's view with the slanted floor, it's such a high ceiling and such a big open area. It would be difficult.
Oh yeah, it'd be difficult. I don't know. It's just something I've always wanted to see.
Well, when you come up for Terror Tours, we'll get you in the church.
Oh yeah.
But how interesting though that the original the main storyline of Portals of Fear is the demon that was released from that church who was kept at bay, locked in that church until that church closed down and he got out.
I like it.
So
perfect story.
And everyone in the church loves the fact I'm using demons, so it works out well.
Go. Church loves those demons. What?
I can't.
All right. So that we can't do that one. If you could visit any haunt in the world, where would you go and why? What are some of these bucket list haunts that you've got?
My bucket list haunts. I don't have to think. They're very specific. So I know, Terry, you've been there. I don't know if I'll ever get there because I'm running mine. But Hell's Gate has to be on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Coming from a theater background, knowing that John's a theater background, knowing that his is storyline based, there's so many things I think I can learn from him, even down to the actor training. is what I'd really be interested in, and what he's accomplished in that is really, really impressive. I keep saying that telling that to everybody I meet, so maybe he'll invite me out. I don't know. That's so story, theater, lighting, set builds, etc. is Hell's Gate. Number 1B on my list is Dark Hour. Specifically, is the organization, right? So the organization of costumes, the organization of safety, the organization of materials and builds, and his all of Alan's back rooms are so impressive. That I tried to. It might be the only thing in the industry I've tried to copy purposely. is the makeup room, the makeup rooms, our makeup rooms, our costume rooms. Just the way we deal with the actors and how they get their costumes and how they get their makeup and how we organize everything. And just seeing the behind the scenes of Alan's Haunt really inspired the behind the scenes of ours.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest behind the scenes tours I've ever had.
And you still talk about it.
I know I do.
I've endeared myself to you then, Jared. That's great.
I got stuck in Dallas because Philadelphia Airport lied, and I literally had nothing to do. So I called Troy, and I'm like, "You want to meet up for dinner or something?" He's like, "I got something better. Meet me here." I'm like, all right. So it ended up, I got to meet Alan. Then I hung out with a couple of awesome people, and they showed me around the entire building. It was wow. So that is why we're going to Dallas this year.
Oh, fantastic.
I got to see that thing live. I have to. The 13 different witches story, it's so unique. I saw entire coral leaves made of coffee filters, and I didn't believe it was coffee filters, so I went up and touched it, and it was a fucking coffee filter. It's insane. I got to see that live. I have to. What other ones you got?
Those are my big two. One of the nice things about being, the only nice thing about being closed in 2024 was I had the opportunity to go see other haunts.
Where'd we go? What did we look at? What did we see?
We did Fear Columbus. We did some Ohio ones.
Mm-hmm.
We did Fear Columbus. We did Factory of Terror. We hit some of our local ones, just so I could say that support our local haunt industry. 100 Acres Manor, Crawford School of Terror, the Haunted Hills Estates.
All these names are very familiar.
I was able to get to quite a few, which I'm happy about. If I have any more on the bucket list, so many people. When I watch your show, such an East Coast lean to it. So I would I like to see Haunted Overlook? Yeah. But I don't think it's a bucket list of mine. I know it's fantastic. I know they do wonderful things. But it's not my speed. So it's not a bucket list haunt for me.
No, I got you. Everyone's got a different bucket list.
I don't want to sound negative because
not at all.
Not
Those guys are heroes of the industry, and I watch their feed every Monday of the crazy shit they do on that hill.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do what they do. I can't do that. I can't do that.
Not many can. That's why there's built haunts out there, a little bigger, a little scarier, but everything there is made of freaking trees. You know what I mean? It's just like, how, man? And it's remarkable what they do. No, that's awesome.
When do you open?
Terror Tours night is October 3rd. That's our opening night.
Nice. And you go till the end of October?
Yeah, end of October. And then what I'll do is, so depending on, the branding of the haunt, right? If we're not around a long time, this is our first year pro. So
right.
part of the marketing is just letting people know where we are because we're new. But depending where you are in the country, some haunts do very well opening on Halloween, and some haunts don't do very well opening on Halloween. So I figured, what a great time to introduce ourselves to the community. So I'm going to open on Halloween and let the community trick or treat through the haunt.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, Halloween's a Friday this year, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool. It's a different idea.
I like that.
It's no cost to the community. Our the 2-hour window that they have for trick or treating, I'll extend it another 2 hours so they don't have to take the time away from the houses. Whenever the trick or treating ends in the borough, they can then come over to the haunt, and I'll open it up and full show, light scare, depending on the ages of the kids coming through. But hope maybe I can build a tradition that way with the community.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's always good to keep that community in your back pocket because communities like to change minds, and we've all heard those horror stories.
Yes.
Just quick.
I
know what I want to say, but I don't want to sound like an asshole saying it.
You are an asshole, but that's besides the point.
No, but I don't want it to sound like mean because I understand. I think I know why he did it. Why so late? Is that a Pittsburgh thing or is that a new haunt thing?
So late to open?
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely a new haunt thing.
Okay.
I
didn't know why he did it.
No, yeah. My original plan was 2 weekends in September to start. Thursdays, and I was gonna have 26 days to be open. And my wife sat me down and she said, "What if you open and you have a staff that you're paying and nobody shows up because we're too new?"
Yep.
And I said, "Well, that's a good point."
No, it's like I said, I knew why you did it before you answered. I was just making, but some areas do start that late.
Yes.
So I wanted to know if it was one or the other.
No, I hope by 26, maybe we have another conversation then about how things are going.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, it's a smart play, no doubt.
Yeah.
Because our haunt's busy September 27th. Yeah, they get busy, but those are known places.
Right.
You're still building, getting that name out. Makes total sense. Why take the risk when who the hell knows?
Right. And when it comes to you may have the question, but I'll when it comes to ticketing and how many people I put through the haunt, I actually limit. So I'll never conga line. I limit the amount of people that go through the haunt per hour. I do a timed ticket and I only sell 200 per hour. I'll never put in more than 200 per hour because it affects the quality of the show that those people are getting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll sooner add hours. I'll add hours if I need to, but I won't sacrifice the quality of the show that people are experiencing for anything really.
Yeah.
Smart.
It is. Are you completely indoors for attraction?
All but queue line.
Okay.
All but queue line. And I try to. My queue line has a storyline as well, so it's hard. It's difficult to build a themed portion because I'm outdoors against an old school building. But the queue line definitely has a theme. I have a pre-show as well, so your queue line feeds into a pre-show area that all fits together.
That's good.
Awesome. I did forget a question. So it's raining out. You have nowhere to be. It's between November and December, so you're chilling at this point.
Yeah.
The popcorn's popping. What movie are you putting in?
Well, based on the time of the year, it's going to be Christmas Vacation. But
I like that.
Based on the time of the year, right?
Yeah.
No, you want to know what horror movie, right? So
whatever movie.
Your favorite movie.
Yep, favorite movie. It doesn't have to be horror. It does. We've had people come on and say comedies.
There are movies that I enjoy watching that I have to watch. My wife won't watch with me. She thinks they're boring. So classic male drama movies. There Will Be Blood. I enjoy that. Shawshank Redemption. The Goodfellas. Oh my goodness!
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I stop every time, and I know the words, and I'll just say the dialogue along with it, and she'll just leave the room.
It's such a good movie.
It is a good movie.
But when it comes to horror movies, I try to purposely watch. Very rarely will I ever rewatch anything. I'll try to watch something I haven't seen before, and I don't care how campy it is or gory. All the different categories of horror there are. If I haven't seen it, I'll watch it, and whether it's on Shudder or whether it's wherever it may be. I'm like, oh, I got an hour and a half. I've never heard of this. It's poorly rated. Let's give it a shot.
Hey, that's the way to learn now, because some of those independent weird movies end up being pretty good. Yeah. Look at Hell House LLC. Nobody thought that would turn into anything, and that's become easily my favorite haunted attraction movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the Houses October built, but that was just boring to me.
Yeah, I wasn't. I agree. I wasn't taken in by that one.
Yeah, it was just like, the conversation in the Winnebago, I was ready to turn the movie off because they were getting on my nerves. And then it was just, it was creepy, but it just was, Hell House did such a better job.
They did.
No.
That they made 5 more. And honestly, I didn't hate any of them. All right, so we got a couple more here.
Great, I got all night.
That's shit. Me too. 9:30. I'm good. For those new to visit, how would you describe Portals of Fear in just 3 words?
3 words.
That's a fun question. I gotta save
that. That is 3 words is tough.
Yep.
It's in his title too. Portals of Fear.
Yeah, that's true. It kind of is the description.
It is the description. It's but if I'm describing it to somebody, if I had to describe what the haunt is like to somebody,
3 words.
In 3 words, I would say psychological journey. Here we go. How about an immersive? Well, I can't say immersive psychological journey.
There we go. I think that's a home run.
Yeah, I like it.
I think that's a home run. How many portals do you have?
Oh, when we first started, it was I think I had 9. It was, but you would go through them so quick that we ended up merging them and making the scenes more continuous.
I got you.
I have one. It's 4 portals total. The 4th one is where you it's the end scene where you meet our demon. So that's the 4th one. But there's 4 total. And again, they range in size from about 3,500 to 5,500 square feet for each portal. I have one, for instance, where you start in a town, and then you go into one of the stores in the town, and then you go out the back door of the store, and now you're in the back alley of all the stores, and then you go into another store but through the back door, and then so it's you're in and out of the scenes that all tie together without the story ties together. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Yep, I got it.
It looks completely different, but it makes sense because I'm in the alleyway now. So
that's awesome.
Hmm.
All right. So why should someone make Portals of Fear part of their haunt tour this year?
Well, you really came up with some questions for this one.
Bam!
Why should they come visit us? That's
it. Why should a flannel wearing dad with 2 kids from the pumpkin patch come to your haunt this year?
One, and I mark it with this, is start a new tradition, right? So we're going to start a new tradition, family tradition. Come out and see this attraction. 2 is because I set out to be different. I set out to be something that's not, and I'm sure there are haunts like me around the country, just not near me.
Right.
Right.
So we're going to start a new tradition, and we're going to do it differently.
Sounds good. I
Very
like
good.
it. Yeah, I came with some hard questions.
You did.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah, you did. And oh, I thought about a 5th portal, and I know we briefly touched on this, before we started having a conversation. But I thought of, a whole giant section of blackout.
He would love it.
Yeah, I think you're good.
But like no light, and I wouldn't want to bother you with actors, so no actors.
No. Just
No.
No. And
don't even build walls. Just have
No.
them feel around the sidewalls.
One big gymnasium.
Why do anything?
Right.
Why do anything? Throw a chair
I
in
would-
there, really throw them off.
Make the silence deadening. So that's,
Yeah, just nothing but blackness, and I'm going to sit that on the floor.
Oh my
luckily, I didn't have room to do it, so I'm not doing it.
God. Throw a chair. in.
We've been in some blackout days
We
that
have
would have been at least something to go around a chair. God, I hate that.
Where can?
Oh, you're joining the party again?
Well,
Hi,
you
welcome
just
back.
like, yep. Where could people, fans, everybody find you, and where can they buy tickets at?
See, I like Terry's questions, Jerry.
Yeah, she gives you the easy ones.
We're on the social media, so Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook and Instagram is Portals of Fear, and TikTok is Portals of Fear Haunt. Website is portalsoffear.com, and you can buy tickets right from our website. And then I'll have links in Facebook and Instagram whenever the tickets go live.
Oh, and I do have to give the website a round of applause for having your merch on sale year-round. Good
Yes.
job. I don't know why people can't figure this the fuck out, but okay.
It's amazing. Honestly, I'm shocked how many orders come through in like January and February. Those 2 months are the number 2, number 3 busiest months for the merch shop. I can't figure it out.
And you didn't have to do shit.
No.
I'm telling you guys, I'm right. See, I'm under the belief, and you could probably, after this season, tell me I'm an idiot or wrong. Every haunt needs to have a merch shop. I don't care if you just sell hoodies. Jam a logo on a hoodie, $40. Here you go. Why? People don't know how to dress. So you're going to sell it because they're cold anyway. B, I think haunt tickets for the upcoming season should be on sale January 5th.
Well, I like the merch shop idea. So you want haunts. So me to put my 2026 season on sale on January 5th, 2026.
Yep.
I wouldn't say that early.
Why?
I would say the beginning of summer.
Where's the downfall?
Well, yeah, it's a win-win if somebody forgets they bought a ticket and they forget that they were going.
Now, people that go to multiple haunts, is it easier to buy 8 haunt tickets in 3 weeks or in 8 months?
I see what you're saying. As us, but then
No, even normies. Because here's the deal. If they're on sale, you can have flash sales. 1 day only. Fear Columbus just did it. They sold VIP tickets for $23.
Right.
I'm telling
But
you, there's no... And the website only charges you per ticket sold, so it doesn't matter when you sell it.
right.
Telling you it's an idea. Field of Screams does it.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as they're done their
they
off
just
season,
got done.
you're right. And as the day after, you could buy their regular season tickets.
Yeah, they just got done halfway.
Just an idea. I'm throwing it out there. I haven't been able to prove it yet because no one's listening, but we'll see. I'm gonna
Well, I mean,
prove it.
there's validity to it if some of those haunts are doing it.
Yeah, they are. Was it Hell's Gate that tickets are on sale for?
Hell's Gate? I don't know. I haven't looked at that
Let me say why he's on here.
since I was planning my trip.
No, but I love the merch shop. That's, and I'm guessing you do have stuff on sale at the haunt too, right?
Yeah, I've got a little midway.
Oh, I want to hear about the midway.
When we were at charity hunt, we had a large midway because the charity, all the church ladies, right, brought out all the food. It was great.
Oh yeah.
So I don't have that anymore, but I'm doing my best to replace as much of it as I can, as quickly as I can. So we'll have food trucks. I'll bring in entertainment, whether it's live music or DJ, depending on the night. Looking to bring in some games. I do have the movies playing throughout the midway, and of course a merch shop. The plans for our midway going from this year to 26 and really into 27 are extensive. So I hope at some point, I know you guys are coming to Pittsburgh this season, but if you're able to make it out again, I'd really like to show you the finished midway.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, we do have Ohio coming up, and I know we're going to drive there because it's just they're too spread apart in Ohio to fly to one spot and then do the whole thing. It's just going to be easier to drive in and drive back out.
It is, yeah.
You guys are on the way, so we might as well stop there while we're going. Yeah, I think that's going to be 2027.
Oh, perfect. Then that midway will be done. Just to give you a brief idea, all of those things, whether it's food or merch or a game or something to do, we're actually building its own building for it, own individual building.
Nice.
So you have an indoor midway coming,
basically, but the whole midway is going to be themed.
That's even better.
Midway essentially becomes its own portal.
Okay, Portal Midway. I like it.
So there'll be scare actors specifically for the midway. Each shop is themed for that portal, etc. Nice. Try not to give too much away, though.
Right.
And the call out Hell's Gate, their website hasn't been updated since 2024, which is very weird, but okay.
I wanted to see the show, not the website.
Well, their calendar is 2024. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Year.
Is it?
Yeah, 20.
Oh, yeah, this is 2025. Never mind. I don't know.
Oh.
But, yeah, it's just an idea I had. I mean, definitely earlier schedules because they're killing me. I need to start planning this shit in February.
Had I done it earlier, I would have screwed it up because I'd have had more days than my wife would have wanted me to.
She would have hung him.
Yeah, she would have. Yes. She would have hung you. That's awesome.
Oh, but that's almost a daily occurrence anyway. She's the one that comes in behind me. You can't do that, right? I hear that a lot. We're not gonna do that, are we?
And then that, my friend, is why I'm on this side of the camera because no,
I would be right behind you, going, "You're really gonna do that?"
Yeah,
let's say we did and not.
I would never open my haunt. Never. I'd never be happy with it. You should see what I do with these 30-second reels. How I'm like, I couldn't imagine building a scene. You'd throw me out of the haunt. I don't like it.
Oh, but see, that makes you like my wife. Her detail work is phenomenal. She'll spend so much time, making everything perfect, which is why we don't work on the same team. I have to build and then walk away to do the next room, and she comes in behind and we'll decorate. She's quite amazing at it, actually.
That's awesome.
And then she comes to me and says, "What why did you build it this way? What did you want to have happen here? I said, oh, well, if this thing can fall like this. She goes, no, we're not going to do that. Okay.
Listen, if they just drop 20 feet, no one's really going to get that hurt.
Right. I have I've been fighting every week about a certain, wanting a certain live animal in one of the scenes. And she would divorce me.
As long as it's not a reptile, we're good.
Oh well, yeah, you're spot on there.
There you go.
No.
But then you see you do live snakes, right?
Oh no.
But then you mix in
wet pool noodles. I mean, yeah.
So
I got scared by a stick.
You get the visual of walking into snakes that are live, and the ones that are touching you naturally aren't.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
Right. It's all in your head. Yeah. No.
Psychological.
Right. But
No.
You were in the pet store with me when I ran, and you were like, it's a stick. It's not a real snake.
God, this is what I deal with. Do you have any questions?
No. I'm done.
Oh, you read the questions that I wrote?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well,
just show up.
Look, I can talk for a long time, so I apologize for that.
No, you're fine.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I don't put time
We'd
limits
rather
on
have
anything.
people.
Yeah, I'd rather have people talk, and then. So how when we did this, it was good. All right, next question. It happens, but did we miss anything? Anything you want to cover about Portals of Fear?
Oh, good. Look, I'm super excited to be on Territours. I wouldn't say I'm fearful, but knowing when Troy called and said, "Hey, we'd like to put Portals of Fear on Territours," I absolutely jumped at the opportunity, and then I called my wife and I said, "Hey, we're going to be on Territours," and her response was, "Oh shit."
That was mine too when I told her we were going back to Territory. She's like, "Why?" No, I'm kidding, Troy. We love you, Troy.
Because now we got to we have to do things a little differently, because the guests on Territours see things differently.
Yeah,
they do. There's an experience level there. I feel like the people who are attendees of the Territour are the connoisseurs of the hunt industry, not just reviewers, not just hunt lovers, these are the connoisseurs. So I've got to do things I want to do things that you differently, that I wouldn't say you haven't seen before, but I want to do things right. So, and I've heard you rate and review, and I'm gonna walk out. I want you to walk out of there with a good feeling.
The man's not going to sleep until Territours exit that building.
Oh man.
But I think I want to do something special for the Territours group too. So, since we are the last haunt that night, if people stick around, we'll be able to do some behind the scenes. If anybody would like to see that, we have a VIP experience that runs every hour during the haunt, and it's a private room, indoors private room for an hour. And in that room, you get it comes with a concierge, and you get refreshments, and there are games to play, and you even get your own private bathroom, and
Nice.
You get to watch. We have scare cams. You can watch scares. There are activations where you can activate scares, and watch the reactions of people. And then that experience when your hour's up, it's immediate access into the haunt. So if I can get, I might add the experience into maybe the golden ticket kind of deal.
Oh, okay.
That when some people get there, they can win that, because I'd like to get as many people to experience that as possible.
That's very cool.
That's
That's a
nice.
good idea. This was my move your fat head. This was my golden ticket. The Stay Scary sign back here by See You Scared.
Yes.
Mine's over there. You can't see it.
No,
What did
yours
you
is a
get?
candle.
I got a.
Go get it. You're attached by wire. Reminder.
Yeah, no shit.
She'll take the whole damn computer with her. It's your candle. Show it off. My God.
Oh, see, that's nice.
Hey, he's cute.
That would actually fit one of our themes rather well.
I'll sell it to you.
Hey, well, he belongs in our collection. Our
That's
many crazy freaking collections.
We all have some crazy collection.
Yeah, mine's dolls and witches.
Yep, dolls and witches.
See that? Yeah.
I do all my holiday shopping at Haunts.
I've heard you say that.
Yeah.
I wish my family would do the same because I would love to receive.
Just her. I've gotten her. We bought dolls at Waldorf, Harrah's, Laurel's, Field of Screams.
And the 2 dolls at East Coast.
And the 2 dolls at East Coast, yeah. She loves creepy dolls. I don't know.
They're cute.
Okay.
And we make all of ours.
See, I keep saying I'm going to do that. Like, I'll go to a thrift store, buy a doll, and I'm like, all right, this is what I'm going to do to it. I have it all in my brain. This is how, but then I fall in love with it. I'm like, nope, we'll clean it up, put it on the shelf.
So we'll have to get you one that's already done.
There you go. So we'll get you one that's already done.
Okay.
Yeah. This jackass. Oh, God. All right. Don't hang up right away.
All right.
I got a couple off-air questions for you.
Sure.
You know, we got to keep some of the mystique happening. But I do want to thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm super excited about Portals of Fear and you getting to finally get up there and see it. It feels like it's far away, but it really isn't.
No, tell me about it.
This has been our.
Not sleeping.
I keep my calendar here.
Oh, if you look on, I think it's September 13th or something up there, you might see a logo you recognize on that calendar.
On this, on mine, we have the same calendar, don't we? We have the same calendar.
We do.
Oh, September 13th.
It's one of the 13th.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at that. I see that right there.
Yeah, Tyler and Nora getting money from you fuckers.
Oh, Nora loves me.
I adore those two.
I hope she sees this video and comments on it because Nora loves. I hunt her down. I stalk her every convention we go to.
Good. I'll make sure she watches it.
They're great peeps.
Oh, I love them to death. And my wife does nothing but apologize for me.
They're very used to it. They're very used to getting stalked. Just bring her a spider. She'll be your best friend.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to throw a spider on her. Watch. I'm going to get her.
It's right.
One in my car.
Yeah, maybe next year will be one of the big logos underneath. We'll see.
Whenever her and Tyler make a trip to Pittsburgh, I'll make sure I have a spider portal.
There we go. Yep, just for you, Nora.
Yeah,
just for
it may
you.
not even be part of the haunt. It may just be a section of the basement of spiders.
Right.
That's fine. Nora's portal.
That's it.
There we go.
An old janitor's closet.
I'm gonna spend a couple of days up there before she comes, and we're just gonna fill it with real spiders.
That would be.
And we're gonna lock her in there for an hour. Nora's portal, and then you got an extra add-on to the haunt for $30 extra.
That's right.
For your wife in there. Perfect. I like this. Business strategy by torturing Nora.
It's her own private escape room.
And we have the key.
With no doorknobs.
No puzzle. And we could put a system like a PA system over him, like the clues behind the brick.
Just move the webs.
Poor Nora.
Oh, she would kill us all. She would eliminate
I
us.
don't want no parts of that.
You're going in with her.
No, it's just on her own.
Damn. No sisterhood in the haunt community?
No,
I see how it
spiders?
is.
No. Spiders and snakes. You're on your own.
We'll put them both in there. All right. I don't know how the hell we got derailed, but
Yeah, we did. Seriously.
thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. This was a blast.
Yeah, man. We just have conversations. There's some kind of question things. That's so I don't sit there and go duh the entire time. But guys, make sure you check out Portals of Fear opening October 3rd. If you go opening night, you're gonna see my fat ass.
Yeah, going up 3 floors.
Yeah. That's good. I got stairs now. We're good. And by then I'll be back in haunt shape. September 13th, man, I'll tell you, it's kind of rough getting in and out of those stairs, but by October 3rd, I'm usually back to strength. Yeah, it's an exercise out there. But guys, thank you for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe and hit the button all the way at the bottom of the screen. It'll really help us out. Make sure you follow Portals of Fear on all the social medias. Like I always tell you, you never know what you're going to find on the haunt social media. But until next time, we'll see you guys out there.
Bye.